Hari Om. Let us chant from verses 16 to 25 of chapter 5. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitamatmanaha teshamadithyavajnanam prakashayati tatparam tadbuddhayastadhatmanaha tannishtastatparayanaha gacchantya punaravrittim jnana-nirdhuta-kalmashaha vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane kavihastini shune chaiva shvapake cha pandita samadarshinaha ihaivatai-jita sargaha yesham samye stitham manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te stitaha na prahrishyet priyam prapya nodvijet prapya cha priyam sthira buddhira sammudha brahma vid brahmani stitaha bahyas prasheshvasattatma vindatyatmani yat sukham sa brahma yoga yuktatma sukhamakshayamashnude yehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkhayognaya evate adhyantavantah kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha shaknoti haivaya sodhum praksharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayuktasya sukhi naraha yontha sukhontara ramaha tathanthar jyotirevayaha sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhutodhigacchati labhante brahma nirvanam rishaya kshina kalmashaha छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः।
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। The last topic, verses 20 to 29, shows how renunciation prepares one for meditation and realization. This is the discussion. So in that we started with verse number 20. With steady intellect established in Brahman, the undeluded knower of Brahman neither rejoices on obtaining what is pleasant nor grieves on obtaining what is unpleasant. So we spoke about the neutrality of this person. He remains unaffected in life. a human being's life is constantly governed, monitored by three factors. The human being's life is constantly covered, monitored by three factors. The three factors are the environment, the time, the past. A human being is governed by these three. In Sanskrit, it's called Desha Kala Prarabdha. In Sanskrit, it's called Desha Kala Prarabdha. Desha means environment. Kala means the time. The third one is your own past, one's own past. So, a human being without this knowledge is a victim of all these three. That's the comparison. Able to follow? So, a human being is a victim of all these three. Now, Deshaha, environment means whether I like it or not, I have to face the onslaught of the environment. Yeah. Whether I may say I don't like the wind, whether I like it or not, I have to face the onslaught of the environment. When I say environment means people, etc. The weather, the people, etc. All that belongs to the Deshaha. I am in a family, whether I like it or not, there is a bunch of people there. I am in an environment, whether I like it or not, I am in an office organization, there's a bunch of people there. Whether I want them or not, whether I like them or not, they are there. So there are these three inevitable part and parcel of life. A sannyasi is unaffected by these three. That's what you have to understand. Sannyasi is one who is unaffected by the desha, the kala, the past, the prarabdha. Once you understand this, then you will be able to appreciate what he means by the neutrality here. Otherwise, it is very difficult to follow what he is saying. Are you able to follow? In Bhajagovindam, he says these three very beautifully. The same thing is spoken of very beautifully in Bhajagovindam in one of the verses. Dinaya shayam pratah sishiravasantau punarayatah kala kridati gacchatyayuhu tadapina munchatyasha vayuhu. Bhajagovindam. Verse number 12. The reference எல்லாம் நான் கரெக்டா கொடுத்துருவேன். Verse number references எல்லாம் I will give correct. Verse number 12. Bhajagovindam. This is Dinaya minyau sayam pratah sishiravasantau punarayatah kala kridati gacchatyayuhu tadapina munchatyasha vayuhu. Meaning, whether I like it or not, time would have its say on the body. It will deteriorate. Kalaha kridati, he says. I don't want to get old. I don't want to get diseased. I don't want to. But then, kalaha kridati. It makes. So, time sports, he says. Time sports. Environment makes you environment suffocates you. Time sports. Your own past comes in. So a ordinary person says, sir, Vedanta Allah, it's all nice to hear, but a person cannot be free from these three. Are you able to follow? They say, all these are very nice to hear and all that, sir, but you don't know practical problem. What is the practical problem? The desha, kala and prarabdha freedom, I don't have. Or the only freedom that I will get is when I die. Yeah. Okay. Problematic wife, I can divorce and run away. Problematic parents, I can tell them get lost and go away. Yeah. Irritating children, I can disown them. All these create so much of agony. Not only it creates so much of agony, Where can you run away from your own self? Okay, you can run away from all these people, but where will you run away from yourself? If you can't run away from yourself, what is the solution? The only way to run away from yourself is suicide. Commit suicide. That's it. What else to? Or, or if I don't have the madness to commit suicide, I would say, oh Yama, please come on. Yeah. Oh Yama, please come and take me, free me from all these. Why? Because a human being without this knowledge is a victim of these three. Is a victim of these three. See, you notice so much of joints you have in the body after you develop only arthritis, no? So many knee joints are there, you notice only after you. You know that you have a head only when you have a, you know that you have a head only when you have a headache. Till that time you don't, you don't even notice that you have a headache. Are you able to follow? Time sports deteriorates. Time sports. Kalaha kridati. Whether you like it or not, the environment has an onslaught. Time has an onslaught. The third variable factor in the same desha and kala is your prarabdha. Are you able to follow? The same desha and kala. Sometimes the desha and kala is the same for everybody, but individual variations makes the bondage again. Are you able to follow the three? I'm very scared to use the word prarabdha here. I'm not meaning the word in the prarabdha vasanas and all that. The past, one's own individual past. So the third factor is what? Same desha house, same kala, two people, 70-year-old. Both are 70-year-old, both are living in the same house. One person is agile, active, fit, cheerful. Another person is gloomy, frustrated, crying, irritated. So, desha, kala, and your own past. A human being is a victim of these three. Sannyasi means what? Who's a sannyasi? Yeah. See, for one person, sitting down and getting up is not a problem. For another person, the thought of I have to sit down itself is so scary because you can't get up. Desha, kala, and prarabdha. Now, who is a sannyasi now? Now, 5 more minutes, if I continue to talk in this line, you will say, correct, sir. Vedantalam will not work. Let us go and do something else because we can never be free from these three. A sannyasi is one who has gotten freedom from these three. Sannyasi is one who has gotten freedom from these three. What he did, he got freedom from these three. That we have seen already. So the three factors that the three factors that you feel that you cannot be free from, the sannyasi did something and he has become free. You have to follow. What did he do that he has become free? What we are not doing that we are not able to become free? What is it? Yeah. What is it? That person has done karma yoga. We are not doing karma yoga. We are all doing karmas. We are all very active. All of us are very much involved in action, but there is no, all of us are involved in action, but there is no karma yoga. Are you able to follow? Who's a sannyasi? A sannyasi is one who has done karma yoga. Now don't ask what is karma yoga and all that. Huh? I can't, I can go back to verse 3, chapter 3 now. Chapter 5 when can we finish chapter 5 then? So, sir, tell me what is karma yoga now? Forget it. We know what is karma yoga. Assumption is we know what is karma yoga. So, a sannyasi is one who has done this karma yoga and have become free from these three ups and downs. See, desha kala prarabdha means what? Ups and downs of life. I just use some technical words to make it sound as though I'm saying something very new, original. Yeah. All this is said already. It all means the ups and downs. This desha kala prarabdha makes us experience favorable situations and unfavorable situations. Pleasant environment and unpleasant environment. A jnani is neutral. Jnani in the sense here, a jnani here is a neutral person. Neutrality is because of what? Is unaffected by, is unaffected. Is unaffected. And we all want to be unaffected. We all want to be unaffected. How to be unaffected? That is where we have always said, Vedantic knowledge doesn't change the situation. World will be the same. Vedantic Jnanam will give you the inner strength to have a balanced response to the situation. Remember that, what knowledge does. Never believe knowledge is going to change the situation. We all believe that knowledge is going to change the situation. Vedanta says, Jnanam says, knowledge says, situation will not be changed. It will be the same. Then what changes? Your inner strength. That inner strength makes you to see priyam and apriyam with samatvam. That's verse number 20. This inner strength that you develop through this jnanam, through this Vedantic knowledge, will help you to see this priyam and apriyam with samatvam. That's why he says, unaffected by the pleasant or unpleasant in life, heat and cold, love and hatred, honor and dishonor makes no difference to him. We think, Abdina, he doesn't even know the difference between the two. When we say it doesn't make any affectation, means we think that it doesn't even know the difference between the two. No. He knows the difference. He knows exactly what it is. But the knowledge has given him an inner strength. That inner strength is what we repeat again and again and again. That inner strength is what Swamiji repeats it as again and again and again. Knowledge makes you self-sufficient. The samatvam is the self-sufficiency. The samatvam is the self-sufficiency. So now he says, na prahrishyet priyam prapya advijet aprapyam stira buddhihi asammodaha brahmavid brahmani stitaha. The verse. The first part of the verse is very beautiful. What is pleasant nor grieves on obtaining what is unpleasant. The second part of the verse is what I'm explaining. But inspiration comes from the first part of the verse. The motivation and inspiration is from the first part of the verse. The second part of the verse is more explanatory. So I'm taking the second part first to explain. I briefly touched this in the last session. I thought let me explain a bit on this today. Are you able to follow? Neutrality, because he is not carried away by these experiences. Why he is not carried away? Why he is not affected by these experiences? Because he understands Desha, Kala, Prarabdha. This is how it is. Desha, Kala, Prarabdha. This is how it is. Environment. This is how it is. What is the environment? Madras means even if it is pouring, you will be sweating inside. That is the, yeah, it will be raining outside and still you have to put the fan or air condition to sleep. Why? Because it is sweating. This is the desha, the environment. The environment, the situation. So he appreciates a favorable situation, but he is not dependent or addicted to that favorable situation. Remember that difference. Huh? He appreciates a favorable situation. When a favorable situation comes, he appreciates it. He's thankful to it. He's grateful to it. But he is not addicted to it. He is not dependent on it. இதெல்லாம் புரியலன்னா remember the poem. What is the poem? What is the poem? Bhajagovindamla, difficult to remember. Another simple English poems he has kept. What is that simple English poem? Even this shall pass away. Even this shall pass away. Yes, it's a very favorable. It's a favorable wind. Things are all going in my favor. Even this shall pass away. Unfavorable things are not going in my way because of, that is the nature of desha kala. That's because of the nature of the desha kala prarabdha. Even this shall pass away. This understanding is called neutrality. This understanding is called self-sufficiency. Minus this knowledge, there is a vacuum inside. Hoping for favorable situations all the time, hoping for favorable situations all the time, scared about unfavorable situation going to come. Unfavorable situation need not come. The thought that vandrumo and fear, yeah, will it come, will it come, will it come? If it comes, I need to prepare well in advance. Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, up to plan Z you can have, and still vacuum is there. Apuryamanam machala pratishtam samudramapah pravishanti yadvat. Verse number 70, chapter 2. He says he's like a samudra. Apuryamanam machala pratishtam samudramapah pravishanti yadvat. When a favorable situation goes away, he is not disturbed. When the unfavorable situation comes, again he is not disturbed. Why? Both he understands it as part of what? Part of the time, the place, the situation, the past. All these are bound to happen. Therefore, he says, apriyam prapya na udvijet. That is the verse. Apriyam prapya na advijet. He doesn't grieve when apriyam comes. Na prahrushyet means no, he doesn't get elated, nor he doesn't get depressed. This person looks like a stone. This person looks like a stone having anything. How to explain this? That's where Lord Rama's story was brought in. If you can't understand the concept, if you can't understand the psychology behind it, if you can't understand the logic and reason, all this behind it, at least understand the story of Rama. Father said, you are going to be crowned. Yeah. Father said, you are going to be crowned tomorrow. Happy. He was happy. It's not that he was crying, oh, burden is going to come on me. It's not. He was happy. He was getting ready happily to coronation. Father said, 14 years, Vanvas. Yeah. And 14 years of Vanvas, what you should understand. See, even today, if you can't be traced for 7 years, you are deemed. You know that? If you can't be traced for 7 years, you are deemed dead. 14 years now, for 2 janmas, you are dead in earth. 14 years of Vanvas. For 2 janmas, you are dead. So you are no way of you going to come back. No way of you going to come back. So 14 years of Vanvas. And he prepared for the Vanvasa also. He is prepared for the Vanvas also happily. So when Priyam, Apriyam, he is a Jnani, balanced. How he is able to achieve that? Samatva Buddhi. Samatva Buddhi. Samatva Buddhi. This is called a Samatva Buddhi. What is Samatva Buddhi? At times, you will be facing a choiceless situation and you have to be in that situation and you need to accept it rightly. This is Samatva. Like, I develop a disease and I know that I have to exercise, keep the body fit and do all that, and yet I have to live with the diseased joint pain for the next 15-20 years. I should not be cursing my body. I should not be frustrated with it. I should not be irritated with it. I should, with Samatvam, I should deal with it. Are you able to follow? This person, a person who has developed this jnanam, a person who has developed this understanding is a sannyasi. When we say choiceless means choiceless situation, ingadhan crux, carefully follow. In a choiceless situation, Vedanta says you can change your attitude. Underline panni vechukonga. In any choiceless situation, the situation, instead of wasting your time and effort in trying to change the situation, you can change your attitude towards that situation. The whole world says change the situation. Vedanta says, Vedanta is not saying don't change the situation. Vedanta says first fortify yourself and if it is necessary, change the situation. Are you able to see the two different diametrically opposite angles? A choice, in a choiceless situation, you still have a choice to change your attitude. That's where jnanam is always about changing the attitude. In the modern day terminology, they call it as, see, you should know how to look at it rightly. You should know how to process it rightly. And Pusa, they come up with terms and terminologies. All means the same. What? Situation you cannot change, but you can change your attitude. So, first effort is to change your attitude. Second effort is to change the situation. Two types of effort. Vedanta says, first effort is to change your attitude. Second effort is to change the situation. Ignorant person says, effort is needed to change the situation. Put in all your efforts to change that person. Put in all your efforts to change the situation. Put in all your efforts to do that. And Kala Kridati Gacchatyayuhu Bhajagovindam. That's why I quoted Basiki. Kala Kridati Gach. All your efforts will become futile at some point of time, and that futile effort is so frustrating. And that futility of your effort is so frustrating. Are you able to follow? So two types of effort. What is it? So what do you understand? Effort is required to change the situation. Effort is required to change the attitude. A wise one will do what? What will the wise one do? First change the attitude. And change of attitude has made you inner strength, self-sufficient. With that self-sufficiency, change the situation. Are you able to follow? That's where you find a jnani is also dealing with the situation, trying to help and change. But there is a fundamental difference between the two. What is the difference? This person has the first effort is directed towards the change inside. Then the second effort to change the outside. Ajnani is one who is all the time putting in effort to change the other. Change the other means change the desha, change the kala and all that. Getting more and more dejected. Why more and more dejection? Because you realize how much ever you change, the desha kala keeps appearing again and again, cyclically. Again and again and again, it keeps appearing cyclically. You make an effort to cook food, nice food, best food, you eat and you are so satisfied. The frustration of life is again at the 6th hour, you have to start. You have to start this all over again. Adukada sir, weekly once cook and put it in the refrigerator so that you are free from that effort. Are you able to follow? That's why they say getting angry cannot improve the situation. Screaming and shouting is not going to change the situation. Yeah. Talla Achigarde is not going to change the situation. Yeah. Either they shout at others or they hit themselves. No. I have tried all this in my life. That's why I know all this. I have tried hitting myself. I have tried hitting against the wall. I have tried hitting other, not literally the other, physically. But then you understand what? All comes back to the same situation where nothing has changed. In fact, one thing is changing. What is it? My weakness is becoming stronger and stronger. My deterioration is happening. So, desha, kala, prarabdha is the same, but I am deteriorating. And then they come and ask, what to do, sir? What to do? Treat them with equanimity. Now you feel like hitting that person who is giving that advice. Treat them with equanimity. How it can be treated with equanimity? A person who has done this has a steady intellect established in Brahman. Because Brahmavit. Beautiful word. The word that he uses is Brahmavit, Brahmani Stitaha. The undiluted knower of Brahman. We are all deluded knower of Brahman. It's not, look at the difference. Undiluted knower of Brahman. Abdinna, apve Krishna therinjirukkudu. Yeah, someday there will be a Sunday class and there will be a group of deluded knowers of Brahman. So he's saying undiluted knower of Brahman. Brahmavit. He has absolutely no affectation at all. When we say unaffectation means because of our limited, because of our lack of clarity, we understand that unaffected person will be indifferent. Are you able to follow? We misunderstand. If an unaffected persons are, why will he try to change the situation then? Because he will not be bothered about it. No, are you able to follow? Why? Because we have not understood the unaffected state means a state where the inner attitude has changed. Are you able to connect? We are not able to understand that unaffected state is because the primary effort he did is to change his attitude. Because of him change the attitude, from the inner strength, he will also make an attempt, effort to change the Desha and Kala. He will also change, he will also try to do all that. But what is the fundamental difference? Wherever correction is required, he will also try to help the other. He will also try to change the situation. He will also try to take the right medication. He will also try to do everything like any one of us do. But what is the fundamental difference? Our primary effort is towards correction, the environment, and finally correct oneself. Here a sannyasi, a jnani has done exactly the opposite. What did he do first? The primary effort is towards self-correction. Self-correction means changing the attitude. This person is called Sthira Buddhihi. Sthira Buddhihi means a conviction that is unshakable conviction. அது எப்படி சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியல. ஸ்திரம்ன்றது எப்படி சொல்றது? How to say sthira? Unshakable. What shakes the convictions? Desha Kala Prarabdha. Are you able to connect? He is having an unshakable conviction. Okay. What shakes the conviction? What shakes the conviction? A situation. A situation. That's why they say create a situation. And in that situation, that fellow will collapse. Create a situation, that fellow will collapse. Are you able to follow? So he is elsewhere, the word that he keeps using is steadfastness. Steadfast. Being steadfast. That is stiram. Unshakable. Convictions that is not shaken by the best of circumstances or the worst of circumstances. Conviction that is not shaken by the best or worst. Opposite of that is wavering. Wavering. Yeah. Shaking conviction சொல்லக்கூடாது. Wavering is oscillating. Yeah. Oscillating. Getting tempted. You can use any word. You can say oscillation. You can say getting tempted. Any of these things. Sthira buddhihi asammudaha. Asammudaha asammudaha. Mudaha nale, this one. Sammudaha nale. Yeah. See, throughout these chapters, Krishna is talking about the PhD in foolishness. Sammudaha nalla foolishnessliye. Foolishnessliye. Graduation, post graduation, research, post research, adu vera illaya. Asammudaha means undeluded. Undeluded. How do you know that you have the sthira buddhi? Relatively speaking, இதெல்லாம் கிருஷ்ணா சொல்லல. இதெல்லாம் நானா சும்மா டைம் பாஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். I have to say, he is only saying sthira buddhi. How do you know that you don't have sthira buddhi? Desha kala prarabdha affects. Then you don't have sthira buddhi. Second is a conviction that I have nothing to do with the body, mind and intellect. Vedanta wants us to come to that level, sannyasa level. The desha, kala, prarabdha, elementary level of dealing with it. That is not what vision, that is not the Krishna's vision. That is not the vision of Vedanta. That is not the purpose of the study. What is the real sthira buddhi means? Steadfastness means I have nothing to do with the body, mind and intellect. Sthira buddhi. And what is sthira buddhi? See, you will see Arjuna not having sthira buddhi. He is wavering. What is sthira buddhi? I have started the process of correction. I have started the process of correction and it will not stop till I attain moksha. And it may take a few janmas also, but I would not stop it. This is sthira buddhi. Are you able to follow? This is sthira buddhi. Opposite of that is wavering. What is wavering? Am I on the right path? Am I on the right track? Just tell me what I should do. Just tell me what I should do. Just tell me what I should do. Sthira buddhi means you understand that there is no injustice at all in life. There is no such thing called injustice in life. Law of karma has established very clearly everybody gets what they deserve. The law of karma, sthira buddhi is a conviction on the law of karma. Are you able to follow? Otherwise, people believe life is injustice. What is injustice? A good person, me suffering, sir. That corrupt fellow is sir, flourishing. Good person like you and me are suffering. And they add me also into that. Yeah. Good person like us only suffer, sir. All these people are flourishing. Conviction in the law of karma. What is the law of karma? Life knows no injustice. There is no such thing called injustice in life. We find it difficult to, because we talk about equality, we talk about the discrimination, and these fellows are this downtrodden. We are all politicians at the core. Huh? That's why we talk about, because we are all politicians at the core. Vedanta says, from politician, become a philosopher. All of them. Don't be a politician at the core. Be a philosopher at the core. What is philosopher at the core? Life knows no injustice. Sir, Vedanta class vanda, all my problems will go away, no? Don't have such expectations. That is sthira buddhi. Yeah. It's like asking, sir, if I come for Vedanta class, I will not get fever, no? Okay. What does that got to do with this? Are you able to follow? So sthira buddhi means not having unreasonable expectations. Yeah. And this person's sthira buddhi is a Brahmavit. This person's sthira buddhi is a Brahmavit. And then the formula, Brahmavit, Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. First is this. Conviction is there. Understanding is there. Conviction is there. Because of past wrong association, I still keep wavering from conviction. Because of long past wrong association. What is the long past wrong association? I am the body, I am the body, I am the body, I am the jiva, I am the jiva, I am the jiva. This association is, you can call it as habit also. Because of this long wrong past, the conviction keeps wavering. Are you able to follow? Again it wavers because of the long past. That is where Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Internalizing, assimilating, digesting. The internalizing, assimilating, digesting makes my effort fruitful. What is the fruitful effort? With the changed attitude, I deal with the situation appropriately. Are you able to follow? With the changed attitude, I deal with the situation appropriately. Elsewhere in chapter 3, he said it so beautiful, appropriate. What is appropriate dealing with the situation? He has said it so beautifully in chapter 3. We have seen it any number of times. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. He has said that gunas will associate with gunas. Gamblers will associate with gambler. Student will associate with student. Musician will associate with musician. Ants will associate with ant. Yeah. Mosquitoes will associate with mosquitoes. Human beings associate with dogs. Sorry. Human beings associate with human beings. Yeah. Human beings are not wanting to associate with human beings. Gunas are changing so drastically. Yeah. Have you ever noticed? No animal will want to associate with a human being, and human being wants to associate with guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. No elephants will say, let us have one human being as a pet. No dogs will congregate and say, let us have one human being as a pet. Only a human being. Guna guneshu, the human being oda guna irke. We really do not know which category to place him in. Why? Because one extreme potential is to become Brahmavid. Another extremity is unbelievable insanities. One extreme is unbelievable insanities. Another extreme is Brahmavid. So, what is the conviction? A soaked in knowledge and wisdom. When you soak in knowledge and wisdom, you become steadfast, and that steadfast person, what does he do? He has attained steadfastness. Now, what does that steadfast person do? I think we have to go to verse number 21. Verse number 21. Padinga.
बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा विन्दत्यात्मतिः सुखम् स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखमक्षयमश्नुते. बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा विन्दत्यात्मतिः सुखम् स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखमक्षयमश्नुते.
Unattached to external contacts, one finds the happiness that is in the self. Uniting oneself to Brahman by yoga, one attains eternal bliss. Unattached to external contacts, one finds the happiness that is in the self. Uniting oneself to Brahman by yoga, one attains eternal bliss. If you see carefully, first he said, Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. First he said, Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. And then he said, no fear of dying. No fear of the future. The future. Third one is the right attitude to face the ups and downs of life. Have you seen the three distinct practices? Jnani, enlightened person, does it effectively. We all, with effort, try and do this. That is the difference. A enlightened person does it effectively. One is the one who is learning to cycle. Another is one who has mastered cycling. But both are cycling. But there is a difference between the two. Are you able to follow? One is learning to cycle. Another is one who has mastered it. Meaning, for one it is effortless. For another it is with effort. Now, what is it with effort for us? First one, Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. And you should not ask, in the verse, you should not ask. I don't, sir, in which verse you should not, so I can make a note. Yeah. Just now we finished. Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. And then he spoke about fear of death, the future. He is not, even upon losing the body, nothing happens. The third one is the right attitude in the present to face the ups and downs of life. All these indicates of what? He is well prepared. He is well prepared. Without preparation, this is what he keeps on saying again and again and again. Swamiji keeps on saying this. Without preparation, the human beings is thrown into the arena of life, not knowing how to handle life. Or we all want to know how to live life after living life. Their knowledge, so many things could have been avoided. Able to follow? It is like, see, before the person comes into the ground to play the test match, he has to have a practice match, he has to have a net practice, he has to go for a coaching camp, he has to go for a conditioning camp. After doing all this preparation, you come into the match and still you can score a duck. That is different story. Yeah? But you cannot get into the arena without practice and preparation. Because of this person having come into this, because of the preparation with which he has come, what has happened in him? He is also living life like any one of us, contacting the world externally, but these external contacts do not affect him, and he finds happiness in the self. Meaning, you should know how to find happiness by transcending. Happiness is not found through fulfillment of a desire. Happiness is found through transcending the desire. if you have to transcend the desire, you need to be convinced about the fact that you are Purnam, you are complete already. Unless you develop conviction in that, all this knowledge will not be of any use at all. Sir, one day I will understand that I am full. But right now, I need so many things to fulfill myself. What is wrong in getting that? It is perfectly right to get that. But by getting that, you will never recognize your Purnatvam. To recognize your Purnatvam, the method is what? Knowledge is the method. So whether today or 20 janmas later or 200 janmas later, method is only one. What? Method is only one. What? Jnanam is the method. So for the ajnani, ananda comes from external contacts. For the ignorant person, joy and sorrow, pleasure or pain comes from the external contact. That is why there is an attachment to the external contact. There is an attachment to the external contact. There is a longing, a thirst for that, a deep-rooted, what he calls as Trishna. A thirst for that because happiness is in that. Happiness comes from that. Here he is saying, unattached to external contacts. Not only he is unattached to external contacts, he finds bliss from, he finds happiness within himself, sir. You say, no, you missed the point. You missed the point. You find happiness from the self which you are. You find the bliss from the self which you are. கொஞ்சம் sentencesல அந்த words எல்லாம் மாத்தி மாத்தி போடணும். Otherwise, normally it says find happiness within oneself. Find happiness within oneself. உள்ள போதா, where do you go and find happiness within yourself? இல்லையா, எங்க போறது உள்ளுக்குள்ள to find happiness? இல்லையா, you go inside and inside and inside. Only mala is coming. Nirmalamaave illa. You go inside you only see lot of mala. And the Shastra says it is nirmala. The Shastra says it is nirmala, but you go into yourself, you see only mala. So where do we say what is going inside oneself? You find a dirt in you, you say, that's not me. You don't say, I am the dirt and correct it. You recognize the dirt in you and then you refuse to identify with it. Refuse to associate with it. That's unattached to external contacts and finding happiness that is in the self. Uniting oneself to Brahman by yoga, one attains the bliss. Brahma yoga yuktatma. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. Idenna suddenly he is saying Brahma yoga yuktatma. That verse olunga padikkanum. Sir, all along we know only karma, bhakti, jnana yoga. What is this? Look at the word. He is using that word. No, directly he is using that word. Brahma yoga yuktatma. The atma means the individual who is practicing the yoga with Brahman. One who is practicing the union with Brahman. And he is practicing union with Brahman because of the understanding. What? External contacts, unattached to external contact. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. We should develop Shraddha in these laws of life. These are all law of life, and we should develop Shraddha in these laws. Then only the knowledge becomes, then only the knowledge is so, it starts speaking something to you. Are you able to follow? And why I am calling these as a law? What is the definition of law? Law means you can understand and obey, or you may not understand and obey. But nevertheless, law means what? Law means you have to obey. Shraddha. Why the laws are kept? The laws are kept for your welfare. You stick to the law of the road, no? You stick to the law of the road. Why? Because you understand the law is kept for your, law is not an obstruction. Law is not meant to bring in trouble to you. Law is meant for your welfare. If you understand the law is meant for your welfare, you will keep to the, you will not, one way you will not go. Clear? Clear? One way you will not go. Also, you will understand only an ambulance can go even if it is one way. Are you able to follow? You know the law and you know who are exempted from the law. You know that. Yeah, other than clarity in knowledge. Are you able to follow? Clarity in knowledge is you know the law and who is exempted from the law. Who is exempted from the law? I need not worry about one way if I am inside the ambulance. Yeah. Ambulance, you know that no, ambulance need not bother about one way. They can go even in on one way. You know that, no? They can go. Why? Because the law is, but sir, law is for everybody, no? Yes, law is for everybody, and the same law brings about a exception also. Shraddha means when you understand the law. What is the law? Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadhaya, Purnameva Vasishyate. When you understand this law, you know that Ananda comes from the self, and that self, I am. Connect it like that. The source of bliss is, the source of Ananda is Brahman, and that Brahman, I am. And that Brahman, I am. But sir, I'm not able to understand it. Don't worry, obey the law. One day you will understand. One day you will understand how it is beneficial and how it is the law. Are you able to follow? That is why Vedanta is called as the laws of life. Laws, na? See, because of my English accent and pronunciation is very poor, I know that. And although sometimes I spell it out. Yeah. Laws na LOSS illa. LAWS. It's called Vidhi. That's why it's called a Shastram. Shastram means Sashanati iti Shastram. Shastra means Sashanati iti Shastram. See, we think Shastra means morals and ethics. Morals and ethics, it will keep changing. No. Morals and ethics, it can keep changing. But Sashanati iti Shastra means it doesn't change. What is it? Ananda doesn't come from external contacts. Ananda comes from Brahman, and that Brahman, I am. This is what is called, yeah, you will explanation Gurtana. This is what is called Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. Yeah. புதுசா இவர் கர்ம யோகா பக்தி யோகா ஞான யோகான்னு சொல்லாம புதுசா he saying பிரம்ம யோகா no, and we have to give an explanation for that also, isn't it? இல்லையா, அதுக்கு ஒரு interpretation கொடுக்கணுமே இல்லையா, அப்பதான் we will look more wiser than Krishna himself, no. அதனால அதுக்கு ஒரு interpretation. What is that interpretation? Brahma yoga. What does Brahma yoga means? The source of bliss is the self, and that self I am. The source of bliss is the self, and that self I am. Therefore, external contacts cannot give bliss. External contacts can give priyam and apriyam. External contacts necessarily will give these two, priyam and apriyam. The same object will give priyam at one point of time. The same object is apriyam at another point of time. Yeah. At one point of time, I'm giving my example. Another I'm giving that example. At one point of time, yeah, there is this sweet, milk sweet called Tharatipal. I don't know how to say that in English. That is priyam. To me, it is priyam. Now it is apriyam. So external contacts, the same object necessarily will give these two. What? Priyam and apriyam. So the nature of external contacts is priyam and apriyam. Nature of external contact is priyam and apriyam. What am I seeking? What am I seeking? I am not seeking priyam or priyam. I am seeking ananda. If priyam and apriyam is what I am seeking, I will be satisfied with external contact. See, animals are seeking priyam and apriyam. That's why they are extremely satisfied with the external contact. Are you able to follow? A lion chases a pack of zebras, catch hold of one zebra. Not a single lion will come and say, in the zebra taste nalla illiye. Have you ever observed? They will not say, maybe we should find another zebra which has the O positive blood group irukra zebra. If we get, it would be, they don't have that. They are satisfied with priyam and apriyam. Hunger, satiation of hunger is enough. A human being cannot live life like that, because the human being is not looking for satiation of priyam and apriyam. The human being is looking for anandam. That is why he is an evolved species, because he knows what he is looking for. And Vedanta comes in. Vedanta is the only knowledge that can help you in the human pursuit. That's why we say Vedantic knowledge is common for everybody. Why it is common for everybody? Because you are not looking for priyam, apriyam. You are looking for anandam. And where is that anandam? In the self. First you have to say, where is that anandam? In Brahman. Yes, sir. Okay. Where is that Brahman? Where is that Brahman? I am. Sir, I am Brahman. Uttu to say something, leave that and say something else. No. Are you able to follow? Look at the beautiful word he uses. Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. By uniting oneself to yoga. Also, it means karma bhakti jnanam also. Yoga can be equated to karma bhakti jnanam also, and yet you can give a different, and yet you can give a different meaning also to it. Now what I am doing, I am trying to give as many meanings as possible. Either one or it will work out. Yeah. 10 meanings you give, of the 10 meanings at least one will click. What is it? Unattached to external contact. A human being is naturally extroverted. Knowledge by training turns him introvert. By nature, when I say nature means it's not the right thing to do. Because of the long past association, it is extroverted. And if extroversion is our true nature, carefully follow. If extroversion is our true nature, we all will be self-realized by now. Because we all will be in Ananda by now, no? If extroversion is our true nature, how much ever extroverted we go, we are not happy at all. Why? Because extroverted is not our true nature, though it looks like that. Are you able to see the difference? What is the natural state of a monkey? Huh? What is the natural state of a monkey? A meditating monkey is unnatural, no? Supposing if there is a monkey who is like Astira Chanchala, everything control panni ukanda, you say, no, please take the monkey to some vet because there is something wrong with that. It is natural for the monkey to be Astira and Chanchala. And it is not agitated, depressed being Astira and Chanchala. Are you able to connect? The monkey is not agitated, depressed by being Astira and Chanchala because it is its natural state. A human being's mind is also Astira and Chanchala, but it is also depressed by this Astira and Chanchala. It means Astira and Chanchala is not the true nature, the natural state of a human being. Turn introvert. That is the natural state. And when a human being turns introvert, there is a natural quietude. That is the first indication to say, we are on the right path. There is a natural quietude. A quietude that is so what we call as Shanti. No? That's why we say Shanti. No? A Shanti, a quietude, a Ananda that is inexplicable. That's what he means by saying unattached to external contacts. From extroversion, that person has turned introvert. From extroversion, he has become introvert. Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. He understands what? Akshayam Sukhamashnute. Akshayam Sukhamashnute. Akshayam Sukhamashnute. Meaning there is no joy in the external. There is no joy in the external contact. And the most easiest way of understanding it is diminishing value. Sense contacts have a diminishing value. Because of his recognition that it has diminishing value, he is unattached to that. Why be dependent on that which is going to diminish anyway? Again, I repeat, why be dependent on that which is going to diminish anyway? With all the acquisitions and possessions, the extroverted person feels he's missing something. Always there is a vacuum inside. Always there is something that is being missed. A jnani, though he may not have any acquisition, any possessions, no nothing, still there is a purnatvam. Still he recognizes the purnatvam. Unattached to external contact. Unattached to external contact. Unattached to external contact means deriving the ananda from where? From the self. And that self, I am. This is verse number 21. With this, we conclude verse number 21 and continue from 22 onwards in the next session. Before I conclude, there are clarifications. Venkatachalam. External contact can only evoke an unaffected response from the wise and not aversion. Is my understanding correct? Yes. There is no dvesha towards anything. When there is an unpleasant situation, there is no dvesha. Why? Dvesha arises because of unreasonable expectations. When the expectations are unreasonable and I am placed in the situation, I develop dvesha. If I understand guna guneshu vartante, there is no dvesha. So I appropriately deal with the unpleasant situation. What is the appropriate dealing with unpleasant situations? No hatred, no bitterness, no cursing, no crying, no frustration, no running to God immediately asking Him to change the situation. Idallam dhaan we do out of ignorance. We immediately rush to God, praying, please save. Please save me from the situation. Please save me from the situation. There is no aversion at all. Therefore, external contact evoke a unaffected response from the wise and not an aversion. In the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna is saying, Arjuna, do your obligation of fighting and killing them with affection. That's why it is difficult to digest what he says. See, Arjuna came into the battlefield with dvesha for Kauravas. With hatred for Kauravas, he came into the battlefield. Now, what is Krishna doing? Changing the attitude of dvesha. Are you able to follow? What is he trying to help Arjuna with? Arjuna wants to run away from the battlefield. Krishna is saying, no, no, no. Don't run away from the battlefield, but change the attitude and do the same action. Are you able to follow? Arjuna came into the battlefield with dvesha. He had dvesha for Duryodhana and the rest, Kauravas. That's why he says that evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. He says that. If you see verse number, in verse number 21, 22, chapter 1, he says that evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra, dvesha. Suddenly, when he said family member, na dvesham poitta, attachment comes in. So fluctuating. He'll be fluctuating between the two. He'll have dvesha and then he will wrongly. So this extreme fluctuations. Krishna is saying what? Arjuna, you still have to fight. You still have to kill them. You still have to fight them. You still have to slaughter them. You still have to murder them. You still have to kill them. But do it with the right attitude. Do it with the right attitude. It is difficult to process this. It is difficult to understand this neutral, unaffected state. It is logically speaking, at some point of time, it doesn't make sense at all. This idea of this idea of neutrality doesn't make sense at all at some point of time. But then then throughout the Vedanta Shastras, you find unaffected, 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 unaffected. They keep repeating this unaffected thing. And what does this unaffectation means? Primary effort is to change the attitude within oneself. The secondary effort is to change the situation if necessary. See, are you able to see the difference? Change your primary effort is to change the attitude. And then with the changed attitude, do that which you ought to do. With the changed attitude, do that which you ought to do. Is it okay, sir? Yeah.
And I just only want to say, so if I have the similar feeling
Yes.
for theretipal, the
Yes.
sweet,
Yes.
with unattachment, I can take something
Yes.
without being affected by it,
Yes. Without being
without developing a longing for it.
Yes. Yes. I can still taste it without developing a longing for it. And even if you have lactose intolerant, you will know how to
Manage it.
manage it. Illana affectation. Correct?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent example of
Is it okay?
Arjuna's situation. Thank you.
Yeah. வெங்கட் அவ்வளவுதானே? இவர் எதுக்கு கை
Yes, அவ்வளவுதான். Shankar is asking some.
சங்கர் சொல்லுங்க. அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க, இருங்க. They will unmute you.
Unmute Shankar yourself.
Shankar, unmute பண்ணிட்டேல? Why are you muting yourself? Unmute.
Hello.
Yes. கேக்குறது, இப்போ கேக்குறது.
Yeah, sir. In vice, differences are seen, accepted, and detached from all.
Yes.
So here, what is the yardstick? I have to understand. Acceptance. The differences are accepted. What's the yardstick, sir?
The yardstick for Sarvatra Samadarshinaha, he said. Samadarshinaha. Now, seeing everything as the same. Now, seeing everything as the same, the wise understands the differences. See, when I say, look at the five extreme examples he gave.
Yes.
Brahmana, the outcast, the elephant, the dog, the cow. All five are distinct and different. Pratyaksha itself says all five are distinct and different. How can all be the
Same.
All be the same? So, from this we derive the formula that though he is seeing the differences, he is seeing something different. What is it? Seeing God in everything, sir. You can't see like that. You can't see God in everything and all like that. Then what is it? Guna guneshu vartante. A person with this guna will behave like this only. Maurice Maeterlinck. Remember the quote, Maurice Maeterlinck. That is the yardstick. You have reached a happy and blessed hour when wickedness stands forth revealed as goodness bereft of a guide. Maurice Maeterlinck. That is the yardstick.
Okay.
When wickedness, you see wickedness. It's not that you are not aware of that wickedness. When wickedness stands forth revealed as goodness bereft of a guide. It means what?
I have accepted.
You understand the wickedness and you also understand the source of wickedness.
Okay.
And what is the source of wickedness?
Lack of the guide.
Ignorance. Ignorance is the source. So, you hate the sin and not the sinner. You hate the sin. What is the sin? Being ignorant is the sin. Being ignorant is the sin. Therefore, in the Bible, he says, hate the sin, not the sinner. All means the same. All of them are saying the same thing in a different, simpler ways. So, what is the yardstick? You can have Maurice Maeterlinck's as one yardstick. You can have hate the sin, not the sinner as another yardstick. Guna guneshu vartante as one yardstick. See, an ignorant person will be like this only. How else he can behave? Another yardstick. Enlightened person sees everything as enlightened person. What is the enlightened person yardstick? And the yardstick we can't practice. We can only get inspired by that yardstick. What is that yardstick? Waker re-entering the dream with the knowledge of waking state. A waker re-entering the dream that he is the waker. How he will see the dream? Samadarshinaha. That's the ultimate. That is the ultimate. In fact, all of us are trying to aspire to come to that point. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to follow? Yeah. Bharat. Elaborate on choiceless situation. That is why I said, as I'm using this word, I'm very scared to use that word. I said, choiceless situation. Beautiful word. Prarabdha. A choiceless situation is a prarabdha which I have to deal with a different attitude. A situation. Like, what is the situation? Take an example. We say, before getting married, you have a choice. After getting married, the partner becomes your. After marriage, the partner becomes what? Prarabdha. You can't get away from it. You can't run away from it. You must have the right attitude and associate. Are you able to see the difference? A choiceless situation is that which now Arjuna's prarabdha is the battlefield. He cannot run away from the battlefield. He has to face that situation of fighting. It's a choiceless situation. The fighting Bhishma and Drona is a choiceless situation for Arjuna. And Arjuna wanted to run away from that situation. He thought he has a choice in that situation. Krishna is saying, you don't have a choice here. Are you able to follow what is choiceless situation?
So I completely agree. So
Yeah.
So in the same example or the same thought process, we get into a choiceless situation from a choice.
Yes.
By making a choice,
Yes.
you're getting into a choiceless situation.
Correct.
So I'm saying there cannot be a choiceless situation without making a choice.
In the past, I made choices, and the choices that I have made in the past has brought me to a situation in the present over which I have
no choice.
No choice. Are you able to follow? Correct. Choiceless situation arises from the past choices. And in the past, I was ignorant and I made those wrong choices. Therefore, I accept the present situation as prasada buddhi.
Okay, this is great. Fantastic. Okay.
Are you able to follow?
Yes.
Second level. The choiceless situation, I'm going at the second level of explanation. Because of my past ignorance, because of my ignorance in the past, I made so many choices. And all the wrong choices that I made in the past has brought me to a situation in the present, which I have to experience. It's a choiceless situation in the present. So I change the attitude to experience it. What is the attitude change? Prasada buddhi. Prasada buddhi. This is what I have, and I change the attitude. So what happens? The whole dynamics is changed. That's why in this culture we don't have a thing called divorce at all. Why we don't have a thing called divorce at all? Sir, fight போட்டுக்கினே இருக்கிறதுக்கு it is better to, instead of constantly fighting and bickering and all that, it is better to separate and be happy. No.
Yes.
Logic will say that. Vedanta comes and says, எங்க போனாலும் you will go through the same situation again and again and again. You will develop the habit of escapist. Your future prarabdha will be what? You will be an escapist, a frightened person, where
Correct.
You will be a frightened person in the future, wanting to run away from the situations, not standing there and dealing with it. It is nice to hear, stand there and deal with it, but how do you do it? You should not be a coward. You should not run away. You should stand and face it. All that is nice and fine to hear. But the question is, how do you do it? If you have to do it, Vedanta gives a beautiful method. What? Choiceless situation, prasada buddhi.
Change your attitude.
Choiceless situation, prasada buddhi. Chapter 2
Samadakshina.
formula. Tam titikshasva bharata. Tam titikshasva bharata. Chapter 2. He said very beautifully, he said, Tam titikshasva agamapayino nityaha. It is agamapayinaha, it is anityaha. What is it? Matrar sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukadukkadaha agamapayino nityaha tam titikshasva bharata.
Agama, right from the beginning.
Yes, it is agama. It is agama, it is anitya. Agamapayinaha, it is anityaha. Practice titiksha. Rupa Seshadri irundha, she will get angry. Titiksha nu sonna, she will get angry. But these are the ways in which we understand a choiceless situation. So what is a choiceless situation? I have to accept that there is a choiceless situation. What is it? The present because of my
past.
I can curse myself. I can beat myself up. I can develop an inferiority complex, or I can blame the other. But one thing, all this doesn't change. What all this doesn't change? It doesn't change the choiceless situation, the present. So what is the solution? Grades. Agamapayino nityaha tam titikshasva bharata. So titiksha is one way. Prasada buddhi is the way. So there are disease being the same, subtlety ke eta madri solutions we can take. Subtlety ke eta madri solutions we will take. Is it okay, Bharat?
Yes, sir.
That's why
yes.
one of the Shraddha, some of the Sanskrit terms in Vedanta is extraordinary. Shraddha, Nitya, Prarabdha. These are all words that gives you such a clarity about what life is.
Guruji, what is the word for choice?
Yes. Sorry?
What is the Sanskrit word for choice?
The Sanskrit word for choice is karma. The Sanskrit word for choice is karma. That's why that word karma is much more beautiful than.
Yeah.
That's why the word karma is much more beautiful word. Now, English action, the Sanskrit word karma has so many things packed in it. That's why Sanskrit dictionary choice na karma meaning. How can the action? We are talking about a choice. Is it okay, Bharat?
Yeah, Guruji.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. See, the only thing which I'm still looking thoughtful, just trying to introspect this. Even in a choiceless situation, you are taking a choice, making a choice of being Samadarshaniya.
Yes. In the choiceless situation, the choice that you have is to change your attitude.
Correct. Sorry. Yeah, that is correct. That is it. The choice which we have
Is to,
change
you don't have a choice to change the situation, but you have a choice to change your
attitude.
I want to bring that distinction. That's why I brought about this word, because I want to elaborate. Even in a choiceless situation, we have a choice. Choice is not to change the situation, but the choice is to change my attitude. In the modern day terminology, they call it as learn to look at it rightly. Perceive, you should learn to see things in the proper perspective, they say, no.
Prudently
All
and
this
pragmatically.
means what? Something in you is changing.
Yes.
The situation is not, you are not changing the situation in any way. Something in you is changing.
Okay.
Is it okay? Bharat?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Venkat, avladana?